Manchester United are out of the FA Cup. I am proper disappointed. I would say gutted, in fact, that Manchester United are out of the FA Cup. I just looked over there at the draw taking place and I thought, why am I even looking at that? We're not even in the competition. Absolutely gutted, and even more gutting when you realise you've got nothing left to play for now apart from the Europa League, and the Europa League takes on even more importance as it's Manchester United's only entry or only hope of entry into Europe for next season, and getting Champions League spots would be massively um, uh, it would be a huge boost to Manchester United in terms of financially, but also in terms of what we can possibly do in the transfer market and everything else. And the fans also need a little bit of a boost because this season has gone from bad to worse, it seems, and now we're out of the FA Cup at the hands of Fulham at home at Old Trafford. And there were a few glimpses and a few bits of positivity, like the introduction of Chido Obi. I thought he was excellent. I thought he could have had a goal on another day. He's unlucky in a couple of instances, but he showed that he could be a handful. If anyone was worried about his physicality or anything like that, then there need not be, because Bassi for Fulham, who scored the goal for them as well, to make it 1-0 to Fulham going in at the half-time break. A goal that was real poor to concede from Manchester United perspective. We allowed them to win 2 headers in the box from a corner. You got to win at least one of those. Should be winning the first one. Should be winning the second one. I think it was Ugarte on the first one, and I forgot who it was on the second one now. But either way, you should be clearing up in those positions, and you should be looking to win the header and be more lively. And unfortunately, we weren't, and Fulham got a goal. Fulham threatened on a few other occasions as well, and I thought Onana kept us in it. Some very good saves from Onana today. He's been criticised recently for some of his performances and his mistakes, and rightly so, because I think he's been poor in some games. But today, he saved us on a number of occasions with some very good saves. So hats off to him for that recovery. Obviously, we need him to do it more consistently. We need him to cut out the mistakes. But I thought today, very good saves when we really needed him, as well in the game at various different points. He stepped up and made the saves. But generally speaking, Manchester United were quite toothless. And that's why, as I was talking about Chido Obi and his strength and dealing with Calvin Bassey and the ability to turn him, use his body, use his strength, and get the shot away. Unfortunately for him, he was getting his shirt tugged. Not quite long enough to win a penalty. He could have gone down just before that as well, but wanted to get in on goal, which is both good and bad because you arguably get a decision, but also it shows you his keenness to get on the score sheet and showcase his ability. And unfortunately, he screwed the shot wide. He then had another opportunity where it was really well saved by Leno in goal for Fulham. He kind of did everything right, made a really good run, showed a burst of pace to get in behind, and onto the through ball, opened up his body, tried to place it into the corner of the goal, but Leno just stuck a hand out to push it over the bar, and that would have won it for Manchester United in the 90 minutes. But I thought Chido Obi showed some bright sparks for United, and maybe should be getting some more minutes. He was left out of the Youth Cup game as Manchester United went to Arsenal and beat Arsenal at the Emirates. It was a good result for United. You always want to do well in the FA Youth Cup. United have obviously got an abundance of talent coming through in the academy. We saw Aiden Heaven introduced today as well. And we obviously want to see our youth team doing well, but he would have been gutted to miss out on that game. But the prospect of playing in this game would have been a huge bonus. And of course, he gets the chance, he comes on. And although he didn't score, I think he took his chance because he looked very good and he looked a live wire up there. It opened up some good moments between him and Xerxes and Garnacho. Some good passing moves, and I think it was the flick in from him to when Joshua Xerxes did that little bit of skill and played the pass into Garnacho. Garnacho had a few chances he could have scored as well, but those three up there looked bright. But apart from that short 20-minute spell just before it went to extra time, and then a few moments in extra time, United didn't really do enough. And the goal, as I said, really sloppy defending. Having said that, I thought De Ligt did well today. I thought he was excellent, probably man of the match. I know Bruno Fernandes got the BBC one, but arguably man of the match for Bruno Fernandes. I thought he was pretty. For De Ligt. I thought he was excellent in some of the challenges he made, the recovery tackles, breaking up play high up the pitch as well to create chances and turnovers in Fulham's half. I thought De Ligt was very good. Maguire in possession, he went off just before extra time with an injury which saw Aiden Heaven coming onto the pitch. Hopefully not too badly injured, because as I said, I thought he played well in the game. And obviously we've got a squad that's very, very thin. We've just played 120 minutes and we go away to Spain for the early kickoff in the Europa League on Thursday. That was already a difficult game, and it's now even become even more difficult, picking up injuries here and there. The goal for United, great finish by Bruno Fernandes. I thought, he was very good in spells in the game, leading from the front again. And his goal, what a finish! To have the composure and the calmness and the coolness to slot that away. At that point, it was a good move again. Delo finding the pass out as well to Bruno Fernandes. Just popping up inside the box, and it was a good finish. But we've gone out of the cup ultimately, and I'm fucking so gutted. Like, I love the FA Cup, and it's even more important to do well in it when you're not gonna get into a European spot through league position, because the league campaign's been so poor. You've got nothing else to play for apart from the Europa League. If we go out of the Europa League, which is looking like a possibility against Real Sociedad, there's definitely no Europe next season. But also, your season's dead already. That's just what's going to be the state of some of the team that we see. And I've seen Ruben Amorim making a comment about the squad and how some players know that they're not going to be there next season. Now, you can look at it one way. Everyone knows that some of these players aren't going to be here next season. Everybody knows. And maybe he's had conversations with them to where they know. So him saying that in public isn't really a bad thing. But on the flip side, if those conversations behind closed doors haven't happened, then it's not a great thing to be saying publicly, even if you think it and everyone knows it, because we kind of need to see some semblance of performance between now and the end of the season, even if it is going to be for nothing, because you can't just go out losing games left, right and centre. As much as I believe that Ruben Amorim should be given time and should be given a summer to work with the team, work with the squad. Pre-season's important, but we've also got to do a massive restructuring of what the squad looks like. What players can we bring in? Who we're going to manage to move out to make sure we've got money to bring players in. And that's why Europe's important. But playing like we are playing at the moment, you're not going to beat Real Sociedad playing like that, and you're not going to have Europe next season. So it's a disappointing day, because the FA Cup, again, you look at the draw, it was opening up a little bit. I know we've just gone out to Fulham, but you look at teams and everyone seemed quite beatable. Man City are in there. We beat them this season. We beat them in the final last season, although they'd be huge favourites going into the. But we've managed to chuck it away in the home tie against Fulham at home. I thought they probably deserved to go to extra time, deserved to go to penalties, but United wasted their chances today. And it was a shame Cheeto couldn't come on, and it was almost a perfect story for him. But as I've said, I think he's done enough to kind of suggest he should be held in and around the first team squad and possibly get a game. But massively disappointed, man. Out of the cup, and the season's not looking good, bruv. Need to beat Real Sociedad, get a result there, but the way things are going, they could have it tied up. The one good thing, I thought Casemiro's performance, although he gave the ball away a few times, I thought he looked lively. He was constantly trying to get the ball forward. That's when the game changed for us, really, is when we had Casemiro on the pitch. Cheeto, Garnacho, Xerxes in the kind of front three, Bruno a little bit deeper. That's when we looked like we were going to do something in the game, but unfortunately we couldn't sustain it. And obviously players are getting tired. Xerxes' legs were gone. You could tell going into extra time. You seen how disappointed he was to miss the penalty. It was him and Lindelof who missed it. I was interested to see what was going to happen. Where was Cheeto Obi going to take one of the penalties? He didn't. I would have maybe De Ligt was lined up to take one. Lindelof, look, I can't be disappointed at Lindelof taking it. He scored them before, I think, if I remember correctly. And it was nice to see, I guess, the experienced heads kind of going, we'll step up and take these. But yeah, miss from Lindelof, and then a miss from Xerxes meant it was over. Onana didn't save any of theirs. There were some good penalties up until our 2 misses, to be fair. Unfortunately, Fulham didn't miss any. So yeah, we're out of the cup. Massively, massively disappointed. Huge missed opportunity there. And the season's looking like it's winding up for a close at the start of March, unless we can pull something out of the bag in sunny Spain, which, as I said, it's not looking likely. If we're going to perform like this, we need to pull something out of the bag. Oh my God. Oh my God. Here it goes. Anyway, let us know your thoughts in the comments below. As I said, there were a few nuggets of hope. The Lit's performance is very good. Bruno continues to be Bruno. Chido Obi showed something. I thought Xerxes had a bad 60 minutes, but as I said, come alive for the final 30 minutes of the first half and of the first 90, and then faded because his legs were gone in the second in extra time. So there was some hope there, but we've got no squad. We've got no backup. Maybe the youth can save us. Maybe Chido Obi can get that goal in Europe, in Spain. Start him. Start him against Sociedad. I was about to wrap this up, but you know what? Start Chido in Sociedad. Garnacho, Xerxes, if he can play. Maybe Casemiro. Ugarte, maybe. Nah, you play Ugarte, Bruno, Xerxes, Garner, Chido, Dorgu. We missed Dorgu today. We did. These are just the ramblings of a madman at this point. I'm just so gutted, man. This team, eh? Anyway, we live in hope that we can do something in Spain, although it looks unlikely. United are out of the cup. I'm gutted. See you in a bit.